today we're at the 5th annual Wings and Wheels at the Ernie Hall Aviation Museum here in Warren, Ohio. Really, this is Holland, Ohio. And with me I got Greg Roden, my producer, my director. What do you think, Greg?
This is going to be big. As you see, it's starting to fill up in the back, but there's enough space to handle, what, 1,000 cars?
At least 1,000, yeah.
And we're gonna have some planes going in back and forth, and this should be one heck of a show.
Heck of a show. This is going to be great. The weather's perfect today and everything, and we've been hearing a lot about the show, so we decided let's give it a try, see what we got. And I'll tell you, it looks like it's going to be fun.
And maybe, if we're lucky, we can con somebody into getting us a plane ride.
How
about that one?
I would love that. I would love that one.
Well, what should we do?
Let's go inside and check it out.
Let's go.
Okay.
Meet some United States Marines with mysterious names, like Phantom, so incredibly powerful it can cut through air at 1,800 miles an hour, or stand straight on its tail and climb like a moon rocket. Intruder, a flying computer whose radar can find a target in weather most planes won't even fly in.
With me I have Bill Griffin from Holland, Ohio, the owner, the director, the Mr. Everybody here.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I'm the guy who came up with the concept of Wings and Wheels here 5 years ago. This is our 5th season, so seems to get better and better every year. I can't believe the amount of cars that are coming in here.
How many cars you think you got today?
Pretty close to 1,000.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing. You got a great day out of it too.
It's beautiful.
Not too hot, it's not just perfect.
And we got a lot of airplanes here too.
So how many airplanes you think you got?
About 75 right now.
Yep.
Wow. Yep. Quite a day.
Jeez. And motorcycles, we got a bunch of
motorcycles. Yeah, we got motorcycles. We were hoping to get more motorcycles. It's new this year to really promote motorcycles, so maybe next year we'll have more motorcycles.
And when you come in, it's a $10 donation. Where's all the money's go?
The money goes, this is the main fundraiser for the Ernie Hall Aviation Museum. You know, we're a 501c3 and that's how we keep the place going. But we also donate a portion of the money to the Animal Welfare League of Trumbull County and to the Northeast Ohio Adoption Services.
Good. A lot of good stuff.
So adopting dogs and humans. So we're trying to keep it fair.
That's
and cats.
My girlfriend's into adopting dogs, so she's a rescuer, so she likes to rescue. She'd have 1,000 dogs if you let her. So how many years have you been doing this now?
This is our 5th year.
Okay.
Yep. Every year it gets bigger and bigger, and every year we get lucky with the weather. So. Yep.
Yeah, you got real lucky this year.
I think it's become like a tradition already. It's 5 years, short years. I think people just look forward to it. Everybody I see says they just love it. So.
Yeah, we've been hearing about it the past couple of years, and last year I really heard about it. I know a few people. He said, Rick, you got to go. You got to do a show there, man. This thing is huge, and it's really nice. Planes and motorcycles and the whole kit and caboodle, and it's really neat.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Get some pretty cool aircraft and some pretty cool cars that you just don't see everywhere.
How many volunteers you have?
Over 100.
Over 100, yeah.
Yep.
They're all with the aviation center here?
They're all, not necessarily, they're friends and relatives and that kind of thing.
If they want to get involved for next year, what can they do?
They could definitely go to the Ernie Hall Aviation Museum's website, which is erniehallaviationmuseum.org. It's only open on Saturdays and Sundays or by appointment. So if you want to bring a club in during the week sometime, we try to accommodate everyone. But we're open Saturday from 8 till 2 and Sunday from noon till 3.
Your admission fee?
Yes, $5.
With me I have Carl Underwood from Lordstown, PA, in his 57 Buick, what is it, C75?
Yeah, it's a Roadmaster convertible.
What a car, what a beautiful car.
Thank you, thank you.
It looks brand new.
It is almost brand new, but I used the old parts. I dismantled it completely, down to the frame, took the frame off, redid the frame and painted it all. Underneath the car looks like it does on top.
You restored it to original.
Absolutely, right to original specs and everything. Had all the rechrome done on it, and
How much you have in the chroming here?
about $30,000.
Wow. That's what, you got the bumpers re-chromed, all the trim re-chromed, the interior re-chromed?
Yeah. Now, that's the front and rear bumper and interior chrome here, but you got to remember that this stuff here on the side is stainless steel.
Right, right.
So that has to be taken off and
Polished
polished
and
up
everything.
and,
Yeah.
and straightened out.
Did you have any trouble finding any of these pieces?
No, I had, most of the cars had it on. There's a few pieces I had. I bought another car that I could use for a parts car,
Right.
and that helped out tremendously.
This is one beautiful car. I ran into Carl a couple weeks ago up at the Packard car
Yes.
show at the Packard Museum, and I fell in love with the car. We weren't recording back then. I said, Carl, I got to get you. I got to get you on my show, Carl. This car is just absolutely gorgeous. And it weighs how much?
About 5,200 pounds. It's heavy, but it floats. When you go down the road, it floats, and it rides just like it looks too.
Yeah, what a great
When you look
car.
at this interior, though, this interior is nice. I had this done by Warren seat cover downtown Warren, and I made sure that they're squares. You know, a lot of them you see the squares will be off center and angled. They're not, so they're all square. See?
Wow, this is nice.
When you open up, it's got the gold piping around the.
Yeah, was that stock like that, or is that just a little touch?
That's where it comes. Gold
Oh,
pipe.
wow. Look at the carpet, how plush that is and
Yeah.
everything. That's nice.
And even this is stainless steel. See?
Yeah.
And
I just look at that dashboard. It's just amazing. It's how shiny it is,
it's
and
beautiful. Yes.
the radio work.
Yes, I had it all taken out and that all transistorized.
Just AM.
Yep.
Just an AM.
That's AM FM now.
Oh, okay.
And I had it all redone. And,
They converted
updated.
it to an FM.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, for money they can do anything. You know?
Sure.
I think I got about $450. They did the radio over and so tape player. I can put CDs through it if I wanted to do that too.
Wow. Oh, you can put CDs in there too.
Yeah.
Right in there.
No, not in there.
Okay,
you
underneath.
have to have a separate
okay.
unit on the floor.
So we got here what, a 57 Buick 300.
Horsepower. It's got a 4-barrel carburetor on it, which makes it, if you have a 2-barrel, it's like a 260 or
Right.
270, something like that. But the 4-barrel logic gets 300 horses out of it. The cubic inches, I really can't remember what they are now, 361 or something like
Right
that.
up here, up there.
They're up there, but
Power steering?
Power steering, power brakes.
Was that optional?
Yeah, no, that was on a car when I bought it, but there's no air conditioning. You know, back in '57, that
Yeah.
was pretty rare thing.
Very rare, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
You
rare.
roll the
So,
windows down
so this
50.
model here, this is the Buick what was it again?
Roadmaster.
Okay, and this is, what other models did they come out of this?
Well,
This is the top of the line, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They come out with under this would be a Super, then a Century, and a Special.
Okay.
They downgrade them down. Depends on, you know, the Roadmaster is about 8 inches longer also.
Okay. Oh wow, that's nice. You got this thing laid out, don't you? Wow.
I sure try.
So what kind of tires you got? Looking at this tire, are those they
are-
look stock.
They are stock of the day of the period that they come on, but I had to buy them out of
The radio,
Chattanooga.
they're not
Coker
radios
tire.
though.
No,
Coker,
no, they are radios.
The Cokers will make them look stock, but they're radios
Radio
too, right?
tires,
Because I
right,
guess
so
there's
they
a
ride
big
nice and
difference.
right.
Yeah.
A lot of difference.
All right. With me I have Brett Beery with his 1970 Chevy Camaro 454. Hi Brett.
454. Hi, how are
Did it
you?
come stock on a 454?
No,
That
no 454s in these cars. 396 was the biggest motor they put
That's
in
what you had in a 396.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Put a new motor in it out of an old race car and redid it and chromed it up a little bit and fixed her up.
How's she run for you? Pretty good?
Runs good. Runs good. About the fastest I've had it, a little over 100.
That's it?
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah. It's a little scary.
We had a guy last week on the show, our last show, and he had a Hellcat. And he said he took it to Mexico. And he got it up to 140.
Holy.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah.
it still had more, he said. So.
Yeah, a little rear end gear, a little quicker off the line and not so much fast. Quarter mile.
So what do we got? How good a shape was this in when you bought it?
This car was from Texas. Actually, we replaced almost all the sheet metal on it.
From
Tires, wheels, motor. Almost everything was replaced on it. My son was in the Army. He was sort of went in Iraq, and I sort of did it for him. And then he decided he wanted a little zing car, you know. Yeah, so I kept the
Little
Camaro.
tuner.
Yeah, little tuner.
Yeah,
That's what he had.
that's what the young
Yeah,
kids
turbo
like,
tuner. Yeah. So I kept the Camaro, and he got money for his tuner.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
yeah. I don't know if he's happy about that now.
So what do you got here? What color is this thing?
But, this is called Kiwi Green.
Okay.
Platinum silver stripes, all factory interior. Like I said, it had 454, 17-inch wheels on the front, 18 in the back.
That looks good like that. I like that look. And
Yeah, thank you. Try to keep it a little retro, you know.
Sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a looker.
it sure is a looker.
Yeah.
It's a beauty.
Sounds good. Thank you.
It takes your money too, huh?
Yes, it does. And nothing for free, right?
What do you do for a living?
I own a glass company, Brett's Glassworks.
Okay.
Yeah, out here in Warren.
That's why the glass looks so good on there.
Yeah, glass is all clean. Appreciate that.
How about the underneath of it? How's that?
Underneath, all like the top of it. It's all brand new underneath. 2.5-inch exhaust. I just put cutouts on it so you can open up the headers on
that's
it.
neat.
Electric. Yeah.
So when the cops are around, you shut them, and then
Yeah, you can do it without them even knowing. You just hit the button.
that's all electronic then, huh?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
All
A
run
lot
by
of
the
new
switch.
Corvettes, I've seen them on Corvettes.
Oh yeah, they got a little dial on them. Yeah. Right.
It gives it a nice sound.
Right.
Gives it a nice sound.
Right.
So what do you think of the show?
Oh, what a show! This is the best show around.
Yeah, it is.
Best show around.
This
Got
is
more cars here than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat this show.
This is the first year for Street Scene to come. We've heard a lot about it in the past years, and last year I heard so much about it, and I said, man, we got to come to this thing.
You guys got to come hang out here.
Yeah.
It's
Well, we're
good
going to hang
time.
out after the show. We're going to hang out. And,
Yeah, beautiful show. Yeah, between the airplanes and you know 600-700 cars probably.
it doesn't get any better when you got all these car guys and car gals here, and everybody speaks the same language.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, we're all
That's
talking
neat.
cars.
You got it.
Cars and planes.
That's it. With me, I have Bill Ranella from Greenville, Pennsylvania.
Right.
How far a ride is that for you, Bill?
It's about 45 minutes. Easy trip.
How did this thing run for you?
It runs beautiful. It's a nice ride over, and we've been here before, but whenever I was here before, about 25 years ago, I flew in.
Oh, okay.
At that time, I had a plane and a license, and so now we're driving.
Bill, you're sporting a what? A 1962
Buick.
Special Deluxe convertible,
Right.
frame-off restoration.
Correct.
This is beautiful. You know what? I was walking by earlier looking for cars. This thing is absolutely gorgeous.
It gets a lot of attention at
Yes,
all the
it
shows
does.
because apparently there's just not that many of them left
Right.
that people kept, which is a shame.
Right.
But I've since then looked around, see if I can find very many for sale, and they're just not out
Is there other ones with this body style besides the Special? Is there like a Wildcat? No, it wasn't be the Wildcat.
No, I know they made a hard top, and I know they made a station wagon.
Right.
And because the gentleman I bought it from has all the old literature they were handing out, and I saw that. But I'm not that familiar with the other styles that could have been coming off of it.
This thing is gorgeous.
But it's, you know, a nice car for being a convertible in 4 seats, but yet it's small.
Right.
You know,
right,
it's a small
right.
car.
And you got a V8 in it?
Got a V8, aluminum V8. I think it was about in the first years they come out with the aluminum engine, and they put it in this car.
215.
215.
215 V8. This is nice. A nice top. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like a razor sharp paint job on it, body work on it. It's just great. I walked by and I just loved it. I fell in love with it.
Well, I went to the show last year at Clarion, the Autumn Fest, Leaf Festival they have. And of all the cars that was there, I kept coming back to this one.
Sure.
And before I left, I bought it.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. That's where you bought it at. Okay.
So, but I think it's the matching top, and it set it off, and that was it. You know.
How about you? Can you get parts for it and all that? You probably haven't needed anything.
I haven't needed any, and I don't think I'm going to need any. It's completely been redone. Even the battery is a custom rebuilt battery for it and everything. So he spared no detail on the car.
Yeah,
all re-chromed.
It's a beauty. You got the nice rims on it and everything, and
those rims actually come on a newer model. He actually had to change all the axles to put them on. This car come with a full 4-bolt, and he wanted to change it over to a 5-bolt in order to get those rims, and he did it.
Wow.
And it really makes the car.
It sure does. It sure makes it pop.
Yep.
It makes it pop. Hey Bill, thanks for sharing your car. This is a beauty. Can I take it home with me tonight?
Yeah, no.
But I'd have to put the top down. Doesn't look like you put the top down.
Top will never be down on this car.
Why? You scared of wrinkling it?
I don't. I just like it with the top up
it
because
does
I
look
like
good.
the matching color.
Sure, it's a beauty.
So I told Linda whenever we bought it, I said you'll probably never have the top down on
You
it.
got it. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. Bill, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Here we are at Wings and Wheels, and here they have the museum, the Ernie Hall Museum, Flying Museum. Let's go inside and see what they got here. Hey, look who we ran into today. We ran into Gary Campese. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. What a show. Fantastic stuff.
You're going to be seeing a lot of Gary on the show for this year, next year. Gary did, we went over to Gary's house a couple weeks ago and we sat down, talked to him. Gary is a local auto artist, auto designer.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. I would say to anybody in the Mahoning Valley that doesn't know about this show, there's something here for everybody. They got cars, planes, motorcycles, trucks, food, you name it. It's a fantastic place.
Girls.
Yeah, there's some of those here. I didn't really notice.
Say it under your breath. here's something that you're going to be seeing on our show. Let me get it right here. Gary drew this. He just gave this to me. What a nice painting. That's that, 1900 Ace?
Yeah.
1900 Ace. Gary is a fantastic artist. We had a great time doing your
as did I.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I left your house, I was just like, I had this big smile on my face.
Oh, great.
Since we got you here, throw the tech tips for us.
All right, coming up on Street Seas, me and hot rods and artwork. Gary Campese.
Welcome to Tech Tips. Today we have a different angle on Tech Tips, and we got the artist, we'll call you auto artist, auto designer, Gary Campese from Cornersburg, Ohio. Welcome, Gary.
Thanks, nice to be here.
Yeah, welcome. This is really neat. This is all going to be new to us. We've never really did an artist before. We did Guy Shively once, but he's a different type of artist, pinstriping and stuff like that. You design and make cars and draw cars.
Right.
How'd you get into doing this?
Well, I always had kind of like an imagination. From when I was a little kid, I always loved automobiles and airplanes, and you can draw cars and you can draw airplanes, and then after a while you're like, what would this look like with this kind of a feature on it, and how would it look this way or that way? And that's where the imagination part comes in. You can transfer it to paper or now on a computer, and bring your dreams to life.
Mm-hmm. Did you go to school for this?
I went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. I graduated in 1968. I was what they called a commercial artist at that time. Now it's graphic designer. And I had a 40-some year history of advertising. I started with a small grocery company in Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania. We advertised for, you might remember, Foodland Supermarkets. We did a lot of their advertising. Then I moved on to Far More. I was their art director when they were in Youngstown. Worked for a Detroit advertising agency where we did a variety of clients. And then kind of retired.
How do, say if you want to do little kids to get into that? We got kids watching this. We got fathers, grandfathers, and their grandsons and their kids are watching the show. How do little kids learn to be a car designer? What should they do?
The best thing it can possibly do is learn form, which is, how a shape looks in space, perspective, how it actually fits into that space. Things sometimes can look odd if you don't have the correct perspective on it. And in general, when you're a young kid, just do what you want. Just do a lot of it, and don't let the teacher tell you you're using the wrong color paper or pencils or anything like that. Just be free and let yourself develop. You'll never be able to do any more than what you can. So just become the best artist that you possibly can.
Did you start out sketching?
I started out like all the other kids with crayons and finger paints, and I was always the kid in high school that was drawing on the notebook cars and things like that. And that was one of my first callings by other people to do cars. At Christmas, they wanted me to decorate their blackboards in the classrooms with Christmas scenes, but it put like a hot rod in it and stuff. So we had a lot of fun with that when I was in high school.
From Sharpsville, Pennsylvania, we got Mike Fennell with his 64 Pontiac Tempest. How's it going? Stock?
Good.
Stock,
good.
huh?
Yeah, a little bit. A little more than stock.
How long have you owned this, Mike?
About 12 years. It took about 6 to build it, and she's been on the road 5 or 6 years.
When you bought it, was she like this?
No, it was a 6-cylinder car.
Aye.
It's a base Tempest. It had nothing. Radio delete, rubber floor mats, no options whatsoever. I drove it as is for a year and then decided to just start cleaning it up a little bit. Next thing I knew, I had about 1,000 parts in my garage, sitting around, bare frame, and decided just to build it from the frame up. So I know a lot of people that build these Tempests, that they make GTOs out of them. I decided to keep it a Tempest.
All right, you don't see the Tempest around too often.
That's why I did it.
So this is the El Cheapo model of the Tempest. It used to be anyway.
Yeah.
You did a nice job.
Basically
on
work
it.
cars in their day is what they were.
And you got what, a 455 in it now?
Yeah, it's 600 horse, 455. It has a full manual turbo 400 in it, reverse valve body. I race it a little bit out of Quaker City.
How do you do?
It does okay. Having some traction issues, but once I get those figured out, I think it's going to be turning in some good times.
So you got a little history with this car, huh? You had it in some magazines and TVs and stuff like that?
It's been in a few. It was on Street Legal TV. All Ends magazine did a feature on it. Where else? There's a feature coming up in Poncho Perfection magazine. It's an all Pontiac magazine.
Oh, okay.
It was on Stacy David Gears when it was on the Speed Channel. So yeah, it's had a a few.
That's cool. That's cool.
I enjoy it. I put some miles on it. I drive it, you know. I'm not afraid to drive it. I rarely trailer. The only time I trailer it's when I'm going to the track, just in case it breaks.
Right.
On the way to get home.
Yeah.
But other than that,
track, they gotta walk
I've taken it as far as Summit. Next month there's an all Pontiac show over in Akron. This hasn't been to an all Pontiac show yet. It's been to the Buick Pontiac Gold show in Summit.
Right. So how do Pontiac guys like you with this? A lot of guys are purists. Oh, you shouldn't have done this. Shouldn't have done
About
that.
half and half. There's a lot of purists. As long as you keep a Pontiac motor in them, you're usually pretty good graces. When you start putting Chevy motors in them, they won't even talk to you.
Oh, yikes.
They don't talk to you. But no, I get a lot of good comments. I'm sure there's a purists that don't like it.
So is this a Pontiac motor?
Yes.
455
yes.
Pontiac.
It's a 71 block. 71 heads too. But Don Blackshear built the motor. It runs pretty well, and it behaves on the street too. It's finding that happy medium between track and street to where it's dependable on the street, yet it'll turn a nice time on the track. That's there's a fine line there. But it was in Summit Racing over in Talmadge. It was in their showroom for 3 months on the turntable too. But I'm on a first name basis with those guys over there. I'm there all the time. They know me. You know, I pretty much built this car from their parts.
You know what? At the Street Sync Car and Bike Show, you were there, and afterwards I was talking to my producer director Greg. You know, I said, Greg, we missed this Tempest. We got to get this. How did we miss this? I thought Krista Sylvester got it, and we missed. I said, we'll get him. I see him around all the time, and I saw you here today. I said, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him. And he's a hometown boy too. I live in Hermitage. He lives in Sharpsville, right around the corner there.
This Packard grill hung in my garage.
Oh, that's a Packard grill?
Yeah, 25 years till I found a 36 Ford to put it in.
This airplane spent the rest of the war years in 45.
It's 285 horsepower. It's 520 cubic inches. It's a flat six-cylinder motor.
From Saxonburg, Pennsylvania, we got Jim Thompson with his 36 Ford Cabaret. Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Very good. What a show, huh?
Yeah, I like it. First time we've ever been here.
Yeah, it's a doozy, I'll tell you. They said they got about 1,000 cars here today.
I believe
and planes
it.
and bikes and everything.
Yeah, I believe it.
You come from Saxonburg. That's a good haul, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And that's
about
out
an hour and 45 minutes.
That's where, around Butler, you said?
Just south of Butler, Pennsylvania.
You drove it with this. How did she run for you?
Good. Runs real good.
This is beauty. This is a beauty. How long you owned it?
8 years.
And I see sort of some pictures of it and everything, and before how you got it and everything.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted, and you were looking for a 36. And
definitely. In fact, this Packard grill hung in my garage.
Oh, that's a Packard grill.
Yeah. 25 years till I found a 36 Ford to put it in.
You had your mind set what you were going to do.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. I didn't realize that was a Packard grill. That's nice. So what have you done to this? When you got it, the pictures show you it was pretty bare bone, nothing.
Yeah. Stripped it down completely. Bought the Fat Man Fabrications frame, put underneath
So
it.
what's the Fat Man's Fabrications? What is that? I'm not familiar with
He
it.
builds street rod type chassis and Mustang 2 cross members.
Where's he out of?
He's out of South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And then I started on all the body work, did all the body work, put the 40 Packard grill in it. Headlights are 40 Chevrolet. The side louvers on the hood are 37 Chevrolet. And I cut the original windshield off, narrowed and chopped the 49 Ford windshield and put it on there. And then I built the whole Carson top and then had it upholstered.
So this was a hard top at one time?
No, it's always been a convertible.
It's always been a convertible?
Yes.
Okay. So how did you know how you wanted to do this? Did you draw it out and everything, or did you just have a vision in your mind?
In my mind. For years I thought about it.
Right. All right. You never drew it out or anything, designed it?
No.
Because you got all these parts on there, and you just had to cut them and fabricate them and fit them in.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
That's a talent to do that.
Well, it's something I've been working at all my life.
The dashboard. Let's go look at the interior.
Okay.
The dashboard and everything. That's out of what?
It's out of a 49 Ford. It's narrowed down 14 inches.
So the gauges and everything are stock for that 49?
Stock 49 Ford, yes. Yeah.
It had a radio?
Yep.
AM. Okay.
Actually, the push buttons on the radio I took out and put lights in there, and that's my gear indicator for what gear I'm in.
Nah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Isn't that cool? How'd you do that?
Took a lot of,
engineering. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. That's neat. And what do you got? 4-speed?
No, it's a 350 turbo, automatic.
Oh, an automatic. It looks like a 4-speed. Okay. Oh, that's nice. This is a beauty. How about the doors? Stock doors and everything? Chopped them down?
Yeah. Doors are stock, and actually, the cabriolet doors are cabriolet only. They have this extra accent line on them.
Right below the window there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is nice. What color is it?
This is actually just a DuPont fleet color. It doesn't really have a name, although we call it majestic blue. That's just what we call it.
It's very pretty. It's a very pretty. When you come in today, we were watching you go by and go, wow, look at it. It's just, the sun hit it. Just nice looking color.
Yeah, it changes
with the white
to a
and everything,
different
white
color.
interior. Yeah. Hey, can we peek under the hood?
Sure.
Okay. Just as pretty under the hood as it is the rest of the car. 357 Chevy.
Yes, 40 over 350.
In a Ford. Come on. Isn't that kind of sacrilegious?
Only the best for my Ford.
She runs pretty good for you then, huh?
Yes, it does, yeah.
From the great city of Pittsburgh, we got Vince Saganic Jr. in his 1954 Ford Custom, used to be a hardtop, convertible.
Correct.
This is a beauty, Vince, I tell ya.
Well, I had a car like this in 1960, and then when Uncle Sam called me, I got married, and my wife couldn't drive it, so...
Where'd you go, in the Army?
I sold it, yeah.
Thanks for your service, bud.
Yeah, so then in the early 90s, I found the 4 original pictures of my old car, and I said, I'm going to build this car. And it took 10 years to build it. It's been on the road 13 years, so I got 23 years of my 77 years on this earth in this car.
So this is what? How old of a paint job? 20 years.
Yeah, no, it's to be about 15 years.
15 wow, that's
years
nice.
on the paint job.
Never guessed that. That's
and
nice.
it gets driven anywhere. It's not a trailer crane. I've got about 30,000 miles on it.
Wow, you see the beauty. Runs good for you?
Runs real well. That's that Ford Y block in there. It runs very well.
Thunderbird
Y block, correct.
And what did that come out of? What year, you know?
Well, it's a 57 because they have the bigger heads on them and they're a little more. I had a 4-speed in it, but then when I got too old and I got stuck in traffic going around Baltimore and Washington, D.C., I put a Ford AOD in it, so all I have to do is give it the gas now, and it's a lot more fun to drive.
Sure it is. Let's talk about this thing a little bit. What have you done to it now?
Well, this is a 56 Dodge grill. And
and you got
what makes it a little unique is a center. That's what the centerpiece was, and I've seen other cars that had these in, but without that piece it just doesn't look right. So that's really nice. He had to extend it down a little longer. These are 56 olds headlight rings, but they're cut down.
Okay.
So they're equidistant all the way around.
Oh, so like this way you cut them down.
Right there, this way.
Okay, they were wider.
Right, they went back here, so he had to extend the fender this much further. So that, and then this is 53 Pontiac side trim on it, and we had to invert it because we had to follow the body line back there. So on a regular Pontiac, the little one is usually up on the top, and the long one is on the bottom.
How do you know that would fit? You just cut it and...
Yeah, we knew what didn't... The only thing we had to cut was the front piece, and the door piece was exactly the same, the proper length, and so was the rear one, so it worked out perfect. And then we made our lake pipes out of...
How'd you make those?
Well, we used the old timers like me will remember the bendable tailpipe when you were kids and you wanted to put duals on your car. You get a bendable tailpipe and go underneath your dad's porch and you'd bend them all different kind of ways, and that's exactly why the ripple part is on the bottom. They're just there to give the appearance of the car.
So you got the bendable pipe and everything, formed it, and then you chromed it.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
so good. What do they call those? Lakers?
Yeah, lake pipes.
Lake pipes,
yeah.
okay.
Just to close the clearance
They're basically
down.
For show though, right?
They're basically show. Okay. Now I have them running all the way over to the frame, so it looks like they're attached, but they're not.
Right.
And then these are 57 Cadillac Spears here. That we made the air scoop. The fellow that did my fabrication for me, Hal Regis, did a fantastic job.
I love the cars on there too. What's that indicate?
Well, that's just the history of cars, 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. Jim Kunze, who painted this car, who unfortunately passed away last year, he was an artist who painted cars, and he asked me, what color car do I want? I said green. So, showing how much input I had into it. He was such a talent. I said, okay, Jim, whatever you wanted to do, and this is what he did.
So the paint job, I'm noticing it now. I got these Ray-Ban glasses on polarized, and it's different when these are on. Once I take them off, it looks a little different. So the paint like fades then, right? It's darker on the top.
Right. It starts.
Hopefully you can see that in the camera.
Yeah, it starts dark up here. The gravel pan is the darkest, and it comes up, and it goes over, and as it fades, goes back. The top, and it's just a slight fade, and it keeps going back.
Yeah.
And when you go all the way around to the back, it's a completely different color car.
Wow. A lot of planes flying over us today.
Yeah. Hooray for the plane.
Yeah, really. What a show, huh? What a show.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm so glad we came, Joe.
I see you got a name for your car, the Gypsy. How'd you get that?
Well, my name, I'm the last of the 100% Slovaks from a mom and dad. God bless them. And my name in the Slovak language means gypsy.
Means gypsy.
There's other cars that are called gypsy, but I feel that I'm entitled to
Yeah,
it.
yes,
So, yeah.
really, really. You got the 312 Thunderbird engine in
Yeah,
there.
312 Thunderbird. This is 57 block with 57 heads. And when I had the 4-speed in it, I had 3 2s on it. And then when I took the 4-speed out, I couldn't get it to work right. So there's a fellow in California, John Mummert, he's the Y-block Ford guy, and he makes this new manifold so it has a 600 Edelbrock motor carburetor on it.
The beat goes on.
The beat goes on. Well, that again is my painter Jim Kunze. The car is all painted and finished. The motor is in, everything done, and he asked me what I wanted to do on the firewall, and I said, I don't know, Jim. I had those 2 little gauges because I have all mechanical gauges on everything. And he said, well, I can't do anything because the car's painted. I said, okay. I go back a week later, and he has all those cars. That's a 32 Ford, and then that's a Merc Custom. And then there's a 53 Ford convertible. And in 1957, my dad let me buy a 53 Ford convertible, and I drove it to high school. And if you drove to high school in 57 or 58, you were beyond cool. You know, there were about 6 guys that drove to school in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania.
You know what, Brett? I can't keep up with you guys. That's the problem.
Came up for evening a
These
bit, but
guys put the shots down like it's water, man. I'm like, I'm too old for that. I'll wake up the next morning going, oh my God, what planet am I on? You know?
I'm glad I was rolling on that.
Beep, 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 beep. Edit. With me I have Kevin Kirk. He's from West Middlesex, Pennsylvania, and his 1942 Stearman.
Great.
How's it going, Kevin?
It's good. The Stearman was originally built by Bill Stearman, bought by Boeing. Boeing built 400 of these. This particular one went to Canada, Canada used them. That's the colors, Royal Canadian Air Force. It went to Canada. It spent 6 months. They found out it was too cold. They sent it back to the United States. This airplane spent the rest of the war years. In 45, the Army got rid of them and it became a crop duster.
Oh, yikes.
It crop dusted until about the mid-60s, and then some flight school bought it, restored it, and then I'm about the 10th or 12th owner. And it was restored 10 years ago, and it took 7 years to restore.
Wow.
A fella by the name of Gene Laskowitz from Hermitage restored it in his garage.
Oh, yikes.
And I bought it, and I've had it for 3 years, and I love it.
Can you find parts for this?
You can. They are available. The military sold all the parts, all the engines, and there are people who bought all that stuff up for nothing. And they're still in warehouses, still available today.
Is there like a junkyard, plane junkyard somewhere with the old planes like
There
this?
are, but not these
Not
anymore.
those,
There
okay.
are some junkyards out in Arizona, but can't get parts for these anymore there. But there are people who have them.
You in a club or anything? A Stearman club or a biplane
I am in
club?
the Stearman Club, and I'm going to take it out to Galesburg, Illinois, right around Labor Day for the Stearman flying.
Can you do it in one tank of gas?
No. 2 hours of flying, and then you got to stop.
Okay, how far is Illinois from here?
Illinois is about 800 miles.
So how many time-wise?
Stop about 3 times.
Oh, 3 times?
Three
Wow.
times.
Wow.
I have a 2-hour back, so that's all I can stand anyway.
So you have it all planned out where you're going to
Oh, yeah.
stop and everything?
Oh, yeah.
How does that work? I'm not a plane guy at all. Do you have to plan ahead of time, like say?
I have GPS.
Okay.
I put it in. I put Galesburg. It draws a straight line. I figure out what airports I want to stop at for gas that are suitable for this airplane.
All right.
And that's how I plan it.
Okay.
And then the weather. Sometimes it always doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Because the weather. Don't fly this in rain. There's no rain gear. If it rains, all the instruments get wet, and that ruins things.
Right.
Because there is no enclosure.
How high up do you fly this?
Not high. 500 to 1,000 feet.
That's it. Okay.
That's it.
That's it. What if you go higher? Is it die?
You can. No. You can go higher. It's just, and if you do have tailwinds, the higher you go, the better the tailwind.
Yeah. And
So a lot of times you
around.
do. Not necessarily, but I try to go with the wind.
You're a pilot by trade, right?
I am. I fly for Delta Airlines.
Delta
I'm a
Airlines.
747 pilot for Delta.
You go all over the world then.
I go all over the world.
Super. How about this engine here, Kevin? What do we got here?
Like Stearman put several different styles, different manufacturers. This is a Lycoming 225 horse, 225 horse. Continental put a engine on them. This is a 9-cylinder. Burns 15 gallons an hour. I have a gas tank that holds 46 gallons, so you can do the math. 2.5 hours, you need to start looking for an airport.
Yeah. You have a reserve tank on here at all?
No reserve tank.
Oh gosh.
No reserve tank.
So basically, you're figuring it out. Okay, I'm going to go this far. You got a gauge, right?
The gauge is right there.
Okay. See that gauge?
And you can
up
see
on
the
wing?
fuel gauge
And where's the tank at?
right above the wing.
Okay, so it's
a
up there.
46-gallon tank.
Is that very safe up there to have a gas?
Absolutely.
Is it?
Absolutely.
Safe up there? Okay.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. I don't have any issues with fuel leaking or anything. And it's gravity fed. There is no fuel pumps.
Oh, okay.
Just fuel flows down through these lines into the carburetor.
Who does all your mechanical work?
I have a good friend who does it from Columbiana County. His name is Mike Porter. He is a Stearman guru.
Oh, great.
We call him.
That's good. That's good to have, yes.
That's real good to have. Yes, he's very good. Comes over and helps me out with it all the time.
How about the engine parts? You have any problem with those?
They are available.
They're available.
I have a lot of parts saved that I got when I got with the airplane. So I do have some spare parts.
Pretty neat, Kevin. How about where do you fly this thing at? Are you in the front of the plane or the back of the plane?
Typically fly it from the rear seat. The passenger sits in the front seat. And if you come over here and look, you'll see a mirror.
Oh, okay.
So the pilot in the front seat, as a training person, could always look into the back and see that his instructor was still here. Because a lot of times they bailed out with a parachute,
No, sir.
and he's by himself.
Is that how they trained him?
Well, not really, but that's what they told him.
That's a quick way to do
That's
it.
what they told him. But it can be flown from the front and the rear. When you fly it solo, meaning by yourself, you fly it for weight and balance purposes in the back seat.
Does your girlfriend fly this?
She doesn't fly it,
No,
she
but-
flies in it.
I mean, she ever let her have her control of it?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Oh,
she's
yes.
pretty good at it?
She could.
Okay, here's what I found out yesterday. If you go forward with the steering wheel, that takes you up, right?
No.
No, what's it do?
When you push forward,
Yeah.
the houses get bigger.
Oh, so it takes you down.
Exactly.
And you pull back, it
The
takes you up.
houses get smaller.
Oh, I see. I
Got
see
that?
how that goes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you pull back on the stick, you go away from the ground.
Okay.
You push forward, you go toward the ground.
I would have crashed. I would have crashed and burned. We have Brett Betts here from Aurora, Ohio, in his 1965 Cessna 210.
Correct.
How's it going?
It's going real good today. What a blast this place is.
Oh, I'll tell you. You've
Yeah.
been here before?
This is my second time. I was here 2 years ago. 2 years ago. But this is my second time, and what an event! It grew exponentially in a couple of years. I mean,
Sure.
it's really a neat thing. I hope to come next year too. So,
yeah, this is beautiful. This is the first time we've been here with the show and everything, and it's just to see all these planes flying overhead,
Oh,
and
yeah, and the
the
cars.
motorcycles and the cars, and they're talking like 1,000 bikes or cars here. And
I believe it. Somebody told me earlier, I don't know if it's true, that there were 650 over there and they were turning cars away at the gate. So I don't know if that's true, but I believe it.
They said it's what 70 planes. So,
Yeah, I believe that. I believe
yeah.
that.
So how far do you take this thing?
I have a brother in Florida. I've flown it to Florida several times. I actually bought the airplane in New Mexico. It was in New Mexico. I picked it up there and flew back from Mexico. That's the furthest I've ever had it. But it's been to Florida with me 4 or 5 times. But most of the time I spend around the local area, you know, and I go to Wisconsin once in a while, or go up to Put-in-Bay, take it up to Put-in-Bay. There's a little airport
that'd be
up
fun,
Put-in-Bay.
huh?
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
stuff like that's fun. So yeah, it's cool.
This is a Cessna. So how big of an engine is that?
It's 285 horsepower.
Okay.
It's 520 cubic inches. It's a flat six-cylinder motor.
Is that a big motor? I'm not sure about planes.
For general aviation, it's on the bigger size. Most airplanes around here are between 65 horse and 300 horse, unless you're talking about that T6 that just started up. That's 600 horse. So it gives you some perspective. So it's on a little bit of the larger side of the general aviation engines, but not huge by any stretch of imagination.
You got, this is a, what you call it, a 6-seater?
It's got 6 seats, but really it's 4. It's 4 seats. The later 210s moved the gear back and it was able to actually put 6 real seats in it. This has 4 seats and 2. I've had 6 people in. My niece, her 2 boys could sit back here, but
little kids.
Little kids.
Yeah.
That's the only people that can fit back in here.
That's like my Cadillac, my CTS. They got 4 seats, but the back 2, they're not very very big. So
interesting tidbit. I never knew this inside latch was here on this baggage door because it was fold this down. That's just baggage. But I have my niece's boys in here, and I landed, and it was hot like today. And after I landed, I opened my window, and the little kid's sitting here. He just thought, well, that's pretty. I mean, we're taxiing. Nothing's gonna happen. He's not gonna fall out, nothing like that. But he's like, he just popped it and he just pushed it out with his elbow, like he done it 1,000 times. I'm like, oh God, look at that. So yeah, but no, it's a good old airplane. 65. We're the same vintage. I was born in 65 too, so that was kind of the
So how'd you get into the airplanes?
I always wanted to do it. When I was a kid, I always wanted to learn how to fly. I took flying lessons at Miller Airport, which is in North Benton, Ohio. Back in the day, old school. Got a job there pumping gas. They traded me that for flying lessons. I mean, I couldn't beat it. Couldn't beat the deal.
Really?
You know, I just couldn't. So, so I just always wanted to do it. So yeah, it's just got into it from a young age.
Here we go. We're going up with Brett in his Cessna 210. He's going to take us for a ride here.
watching Armstrong Street Scene.
Today we're at the Wings and Wheels over in Holland, Ohio, and with me from Holland, Ohio, we have Fred Warren. Hi, Fred.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Good, good.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, what a day, huh? This is going to be a fantastic show today.
Yep.
They're figuring probably, what, 800-900 cars or something?
That's what I heard, yeah. I bet every bit of that, you know, because they're still lined up out front there. So.
You been here before?
Yeah, I just live up the street about 2 miles.
Oh, okay, this is the first time for the show, and I've been hearing so much about it, and so we just said, come on, we got to check it out. And I'm coming in here, there's planes zipping over my head, motorcycles on my left, and
yeah, it's a good show.
Oh
you know,
my God, I'm all excited.
Gets a lot of people.
Yeah.
They spend their time on planes and cars and stuff. I think it's a great deal.
Sure it is.
And,
sure it is.
Give Howell a little bit of publicity.
All right. This is the first time for me for a street scene for planes anyway.
Yeah.
We've done motorcycles, never done planes before. So hey Fred, we're standing in front of a 1933 Ford 3-window coupe.
Yep.
And I understand you bought this in original stock form?
Yeah, it had fenders and it was an original 1933 coupe, and that's kind of the last of that. Everything else is handmade.
So tell me, what did you do? What did you first start when you got this car? What did you do?
I took those god-awful fenders off of it. Actually, it's got a hand-built chassis underneath it. It's all steel, and then it's got aircraft aluminum suspension front and rear.
So that makes it really super light then.
Yeah, and it's independent front and rear. It's got a LT4 motor, which was a Corvette motor back in the late 90s and early 2000s. I finished it, I guess, in about 99, but I had a guy in California do all the metal work, so everything you see here is all
So you shipped it out to California?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had Marcel from California. He and his boy built most of the body. From the belt line down, that's all brand new.
So how far did they chop it then?
About 3.5 inches.
That's amazing how they chop these cars.
Yeah,
and they just,
and he put a metal roof skin in it, and it's just like part of Henry Ford. Looks like
right.
it, you know.
It's beauty.
Yeah.
It's a beauty. And you got suicide doors on there?
Yeah, that's the way they were.
Oh, that's like the stock door. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then another guy in California actually prepped the metal and got it all ready for paint, and he painted it in his shop out of California Street Rods in Huntington Beach.
Then they shipped it back?
Yeah, I went and got it.
Oh, you went and got it?
No, yeah.
You didn't drive it back?
No. I have a transporter because I got a bunch of these things, and I can haul 2 or 3 cars at a time. You know.
So how many cars do you have?
I have 7 now, and
what do you got?
Oh, I got a 33 Roadster like this with a convertible top that hides away. I'm building that one now. I got 32 Roadster, a 32 Coupe. I got 37 Coupe. I got a bunch of stuff laying around. You know.
So you like the 30s, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. I don't care anything about late model cars. I mean, I like them.
This is a great era. The 30s is like my favorite era.
I like the newer cars, but they got too many parts. I must be getting lazy. I don't like to deal with them.
Yeah, really.
But, plus, I think these are unique because they're handmade, most of it, you know.
So you've had this built since '99?
Yeah. It was...
so you're talking, this is almost what? This is an 18-year build.
Well, no, it's been done since '99.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'm just saying, okay, 18 years.
This car was runner-up for the Riddler Award in Detroit.
Get it? When? What year?
99.
99.
That's when I finished it.
That's an honor, I'll tell you.
And at the same time, I built a Roadster like this, same color on the bottom, but it's all tangerine and same striping and everything. And it won the Grand National Roadster Show in California the same year. So I tried to win them both, and this one here came in second.
Second place. What an honor! My God, that's a beauty. That's a heck of a show.
Yeah.
I went to that last year. We're probably going to go back this year.
Sure.
Some of the rods you see there, just then some of the money these guys put into these things, and it's just beautiful, beautiful. We spent the day here at the 5th annual Wings and Wheels here at the what's it called?
The Ernie Hall Aviation Museum.
And boy, did we have a good time.
Boy, I tell you, and we got that plane ride.
We did
I
get
mean,
that plane ride.
I've never been up in a small plane like that other than, 727. I had the time of my life.
Oh,
I don't know about you.
That was so much fun. I was kind of scared at first. I'm a little claustrophobic. We closed the door and I go, uh-oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, Greg. This is crazy.
I was trying to get you to keep you in there because I don't think we'd get a chance like that again. We had to con him to do that.
That's like when you're on a roller coaster and you're sitting right in front of it, ready to go up, and you go, get me out, get me out. But once you get going, you're like, this is the greatest thing.
I could have done that all day.
It was so much fun. And we had what? They said about 1,000 cars here today?
That's what I said. They filled up. This runway is long. And they filled it, and we went back and forth on this field 2 or 3 times, and it took all day to do. So there was nothing, there was something for everyone out here to see today.
We had airplanes here, we had cars here, we had motorcycles here. It's just a heck of an event.
Yep.
Heck of an event.
Well, I'm Greg Roden.
I'm Rick Guerrera. Hey, for Armstrong Street Scene, we'll see you
down the road.